22 meters. I'm currently on a flight that's about 5 hours. I'm stuck in the middle seat, so obviously already aggravated. The person to my left, important later, took his shoes off about 5 minutes into the flight. I asked him politely to put his shoes back on because it smelled like Cheez-Its and wet. He responded, "I'm more comfortable like this." So at this point I'm beyond livid. It's just rude. So about an hour later he asked to pee, and I responded, "I'm more comfortable like this." I sat there until he put his shoes back on. It's gross that he wanted to go to the bathroom without shoes on. Whatever. Hope you enjoyed. I was told this story today by my dad that a family member told him. So third-hand story. A neighbor within the Hoa had a giant, ugly satellite dish in his backyard. The Hoa rules stated that you couldn't have one of these on your property since it was ugly and took away from the value of the house. So what does he do? He buys the ugliest hearse he can find, attached the satellite to it, and parks it on the street. Hoa board calls the cops on his car every 24 hours. Law is your vehicle has to move every 24 hours or you get a ticket out. So to spite them every day he moves his hearse with the satellite to avoid a ticket or getting towed. And they couldn't do anything about it. I get at least 25 to 30 robber calls a day. I recently got a newer phone, and while playing with it, I noticed it has a function that I can respond to an incoming call via a text message. The nice thing about that function is it stops the ringing immediately. At first, I was sending, "I'll call you later." Then I started sending, "I'm on my way." Then I saw that there's a custom option at the bottom. So on really annoying calls, the ones that call 3, 4, or 5 times in a row or multiple times a day, I send them. F off. I notice the scammers robber calls come in bunches. I'll go 4 or 5 hours with none, then get 6 to 10 in less than an hour. Responding with a text message seems to have slowed the incoming calls by about 25-30%. I know that one of the things they're doing is checking to see if a number is active and answered. They're both more sophisticated than we'd like to believe, and also not too bright. For example, I know many of the calls originate from the same group of people, and they work their info like any business would work its metrics. But also, they're quick to anger and blow their customer service charade, and they're also not very tech savvy. I'm sure I'll start getting more texts soon, but for now, I'll keep answering with a text message. I want to see if there's a decrease in incoming calls. I like to dream up creative ways to kill them off en masse. I bet if I ever got a chance to do that, I'd get away with a temporary insanity defense. Hello, this is my first ever post about a story I just got to know from my mother. I'm not English BTW, sorry if my storytelling isn't very clean. So the year is 2008 and my family wants to move houses and we were checking on the house we live in ever since. I was around 5 years old. My mother parked our car in front of the house's fence onto the pavement. My mom, dad and younger brother went in the house, leaving me and my older brother, who is already 18, in the car because I fell asleep. About 10 minutes after they went in, changing to my mom's perspective, my brother rushes in saying someone bumped into our car. Everyone goes outside to see what has happened and there is an angry man demanding to be paid for his car mirror. Apparently my brother opened the door just the moment the other car passed us in the opposing direction, causing its mirror to fall out. Until now, I haven't mentioned that it was December and it was snowing heavily, like a lot, and after a good 10 minutes my brother couldn't even see out of the car. So my dad wants to pay about $40, but then my mother stops him and asks the man, what direction was he coming from? The opposing one. Wait, then how did you hit our car, which is 23rd parked on the pavement from the opposite lane? And he goes on about that my brother opened the door and if we won't pay, he will call the police. Look, said my mom, both cars got damaged. You could go and fix your mirror on your own, and I can go and fix this dent on the door on my own. But if you really want to call the police about this, go on then please. And so they went inside the house, leaving the man behind. Don't worry, I wasn't left in the car. Not 20 minutes pass by, and there's a knock on the door. And wonders of miracles, there's 2 policemen asking about a car incident. After they go outside again, and after my mom told her own statements again, the police just slowly look at each other and then back to the man, who for some reason still doesn't think he's at the wrong side of this story, and again, asks to be paid for the damage. One of the police then in a more and more serious tone starts to tell him, well sir, we can get you a crew here, close down both end of the road, get all of this snow cleared from here, get a specialist measure down their car's door size, the road, and your car. And if it happens to be that you hit their wide open door while leaving your own lane with 10 damned centimeters, you're gonna pay for everything. Back to kind voice, so would you like to proceed? By this time the man got just as white as the snow around him and said, no, I don't think so. The police then turned to my mom and asked, would you like to press charges? No, thank you. So have both halves agreed that they are gonna pay for their own damages? Yes. Good. And so the man and the policers both left, and in the end, we bought ourselves a house. I don't know if the story fits here, but here we go. I was at a dirt bike camp for a whole week. You bring your bike, sleep and ride with an instructor. You would bring your gas ECT. This one kid, I was 13, and he was 12, he accidentally put my gas in his. I saw that and told him. I knew it was a mistake and he apologized. He was worried he would have to get all of the gas out of his tank, but we talked for a bit and turns out we had the same gas. For dirt bike guys, we use the same oil mix ratio 32:1 or 132 IDK, the same gas 94 and the same oil. We had the same bike, KX85. Mine is a 2019 and his was an older model. Anyway, after that incident, he purposely used my gas to fill up his bike. I called him out because I saw him and he denied everything. I was kinda frustrated. I won't go over the conversations we had because it would be a pain in the but let me tell you, he was a complete butthole to everybody, including me. So, time for revenge. So that diner, when everyone was outside eating, I got his gas and putted a lot of oil in his tank before stopping riding. He filled up the bike. The next morning, all the oil had gummed up his engine. When he started it that morning, it was fuming. It smelled so ducking bad. Just for context, me and my neighbors have airsoft wars on weekends. But this was not a weekend. I play airsoft at an actual field as well, so everyone expects me to just not care when I get shot. Usually I don't. Also, sorry for garbage format. I'm in the car and just wanted to pass time by sharing what happened yesterday. Me is me. NB, neighbor who shot me. Kid, other neighbor. Alright. So me and kid were in my backyard messing around with a stick when NB walks in. I turn around and NB immediately shoots me with his airsoft gun. He was wearing eye protection and his hoodie, so I knew he wanted to play airsoft. Any other day and I wouldn't have cared, but this cold been extremely bad for me. I wasn't wearing eye protection, so he cold easily shot my eye out. I started yelling at him because of how dangerous that was, and he kind of just laughs it off. I turn around and he shoots me again in the back once again. No eye protection. This also pissed me off really bad because it was pretty much point blank and it stung a little more than usual. I went inside pissed, leaving kid and NB in my backyard. I went up to my closet and put on all of my gear, plate carrier, paintball mask, etc. I also picked up my 15 RPS M4 EG on the way out. I walked back down the stairs, rage building in my body. I felt like I had been born to do this. I opened my garage with an evil smirk on my face and saw Kid and NB on their bikes out on the sidewalk by my house. Kid sees me and stops, but NB keeps going. I put 20 rounds in NB's back. NB falls to the ground, obviously in pain, and withdraws his pistol. He attempts to shoot at me, but all of his shots hit my plate carrier, so I didn't feel anything. Kid starts laughing, while NB is obviously pissed. NB went home angry and Kid stayed at my house. Me and NB are on good terms now, and think this whole incident was stupid. Good times. I love being cuddled by my boyfriend, right before I fall asleep. But him like a cat with belly rubs, no more than a few minutes, before I don't like it anymore. He normally gets that. We part our ways to other sides of the bed and all is well. Until a couple hours into the night. He will, while still asleep, manhandle me into the little spoon position. And being a light sleeper, it wakes me up no problem, because being shoved over into your side is just lovely at 1 AM. He is also a huge snorer and grinds his teeth during the night, incessantly. It's awful. The noise haunts me. The fan does nothing to drown out those noises right in my ear. We've been living together for 1.5 years and the solution just came to me a couple nights ago. I have curly long hair that I tie up on top of my hair, cause I hate the feeling of hair in my face. So now, I loosen my clips a bit, tilt my head back, and tickle his nose with my hair. It annoys him enough that he half-heartedly wakes up scratching his nose, not knowing why. He resumes the big spoon position, starts drifting off, and I repeat the hair in the face move. Grumbling, he flips over onto his other side leaving me alone. At least the snoring and grinding noises are happening in the opposite direction than right in my ear. Thank you for watching. Slap that like button and comment your opinion on these stories below. I'm waiting. Write that comment. Seriously. Have you written it yet? If you don't comment, you make a bunny cry somewhere. You're not that kind of person. I know. Anyways, peace out and catch you tomorrow.